Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me is Ratan Sharda ji, and we're going to be talking about Ratan Sharda, the person. Ratan ji, Namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel. So, you are considered one of the intellectual thinkers of the Sun. In fact, your articles are very objective, and you don't have any favorites. You don't pull back any punches. The way you see it, you express it, and that itself requires a certain amount of conviction in your beliefs. So, Ratan Sharda gets up in the morning. What motivates you to do what you do during the day?
See, one thing I am very reticent about talking on myself because we learn from RSS that when you always look at people, we meet people who are much more greater than you. You meet people who are much more dedicated, devoted to their cause, and much more sacrificial and self-sacrificing. So you can never get that kind of feeling that you are doing something important. But yes, as something that I learned from RSS being a childhood RSS swimmer, that do something more than you imagine for yourself. So do something beyond your own selfish interest. So every day, do I do something for the others? Do I do something which will benefit the society? That keeps you motivating because the daily Shaka issue that you must go daily to RSS Shaka is the starting point. That you put some time on more than what you do for yourself. So think about others. So that keeps you, I think, motivated. And as I said, we meet such wonderful people who have dedicated so much of time, their talent, their work. So you always feel that you could do more. So that's what keeps you inspiring. I'm more into writing now, no more into field work of RSS. But I do visit Seva Karya, I do support some Seva Karya. I'm still in charge of a few activities. So that also keeps you moving. When you see people, see, on one side you can say, kuch nahi hua. You can say, वैसे ही चल रहा है, very difficult to change India. Then you meet these wonderful people. Somebody working in Northeast, somebody working for orphans, somebody working for rural development, somebody working with women. And you realize so much good work is going on. You see lots of people, not just in RSS, outside RSS also, who are doing whatever they can at their own cost. Then naturally you feel inspired that things are changing. So that's what keeps you going.
So, Ratanji, one thought that keeps coming in my mind, see, when there is natural disaster, it is not any relief organization that comes in India. It is the sun that is there. It sets up the basic hygienic, the basic food, shawls, everything. It's like a well-oiled machine. Why the COVID? So many people were just dying, and the Sanglis took it upon themselves to do the Antim Kriya. And these are all things that you don't teach. You evolve into that. So, having seen this, we still see there are some, these are all Sanatanis, dharmic wise, but they are following other religion. And they know, because even when the disaster strikes their mohalla, take Wayanad for example, right? The natural disaster, it was the sun that was there first. Here, when it comes to casting the vote at the ballot, there is something there that is, holding them back. See, you've done interaction with people, one-on-one, fine individuals. They will all talk. Yes, I've been helped by RSS. Nobody else came to my help. Then will you vote for BJP? No. This is like a, paradox. What the heck is going on? Why are you? We are looking at you as a human being. You're not looking at you as something else. You may be looking at me as something else, but I'm not looking at you as something else. I'm looking at you as a human being. How do you break this gap?
So this was a new complaint. I'll go back a little in the history. In 1951, 52 election, BJP was born in 1950-51, and RSS had done huge work during partition, lost many lives. It's a tale of sacrifice that nobody can ever measure, saving people from across partition, Hindu, Sikhs, from Sindh to right up to Jammu Kashmir. And then the Johnson was born. Guruji was not interested in politics at all. So he didn't take interest, but he sent some people to Dansang work. And Swayamsevaks are totally dedicated to Dansang. And they thought we'll get good win because we have been popular. But it was very bad, disastrous. I think 2 MPs won or 1 MP won. And there was total turmoil. And there was total heartbreak. Then Guruji went to every area to encourage them, saying, you did not work for RSS, you did not work for the society hoping to get votes. You work because they are your brethren. So don't take that as a measure of your voting popularity. That is how slowly these people came out of that particular depression kind of feeling of the Karyakartas, because earlier they faced ban on RSS, suffered a lot. Then Johnson comes and they believe you have done a lot of good work. Then no result. Then very famous case of Mula Mutha flood in Pune. Again, RSS people were at a huge cost to themselves, like any other time, like you said, everywhere they're there. Again, election results, Pune, they lost. Again, same thought, why people, societies like that? Again, Pracharam, till then we are not working for votes. So there is as far as RSS is concerned, it never works on votes. It works for issues which concern us. So if you typically take example of Kerala, where RSS is the most intense, every village has an RSS Shaka. They've suffered the most, but that sense of feeling that belonging is very strong. So as Hindus, they are one. When it comes to voting, there are different considerations. Maybe they feel RSS, Janasangh or BJP is not strong enough to defeat the alliances. So maybe that what then makes them go back to the original two ideological poles. Actually, there are one pole, there are two poles, honestly speaking. Both have the same ideology. But there is communism and there is Congress. But internally, there is no difference. So you do feel a bit disappointed, but being disappointed, starting from one seat in 1951 to two seats in 84, to where they are. So naturally, you have to convince people. And there is a caste politics, there is so many other things to divide people. So how to overcome the divisiveness? That is the mantra that RSS has, that we have to overcome the divisiveness. They go a little above the level of caste and sect and all these
Rise
things.
above it.
Rise above it and look at yourself as the Hindu or Bharati of the nation. Well, these are only sub-identities, they are not the identities. So, famous saint, Jain saint used to say that I am Jaini because I am a Hindu. I am a 𝗤𝗏𝗍𝗫 because I am a Jain. But ultimately, my identity goes back to Hindu roots. So when this will happen, these small kind of things you see in the voting, where you vote finally at the small selfish level, caste level, that has slowly changed, which we see has changed. Otherwise, BJP won't be winning all this 10, 11 years in that state level, nation level. But you need patience. You have to trust people that when you do work, you're doing for nothing for your own vested interest. When people look at politics, they start believing so every politician is dirty, every politician is only selfish. This has to go. For this to go, politicians also have to change. Why people are trusting Modi? Because you see, Modi ji apne liye kuch nahi karte. Modi ji is not doing something for himself. That is why when Modi ji even makes a mistake, people say it's fine, but he's not doing anything for his own selfish interest. When this trust will happen, then naturally you have winning position. Whether it's a Congress person, whether a BJP person. That's why I say you need Congress as a pole, as a party which is the only national party looking at the national level, national views. Unfortunately, it's not happening right now. That's why it's something.
Right, right.
But this is the feeling that you don't work for votes. You try to educate people. You try to create right opinion in the people, raise the right issues and work for them. Then this doesn't happen. You talked about your religion and all that. 𝗟𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥 case, very famous, where Saudi Arabian airline crashed. Most of the people who died were Muslims. To bury them, RSS people then cleaned them and brought them out for burying them. They brought some Maulanas finally to agree. And not many were agreeing, some agreed. They came down and they did everything. But they never made a song and dance about it. So that the inherent divisive or distrust about RSS or Hindutva, which Communist and Congress played for nearly from, let us say, from independence time to, I would, let us say, as a break point of, let us say, 1975 emergency. And then further as RSS opened up. See, RSS media cell started working only 1990. For 15, 20 years, they had no clue कि करना क्या, because they never believed in prachar, never believed in media support. So that is how they finally were getting answer back. Till that and that a field day. So you are fighting that hate against RSS, which was built very cleverly from 1947, I would say, right up to 1975 till I would say even 1990. So that is the period now. To overcome that period, you need time. So how do you overcome that hate? The inherent default response, what is default response? RSS, terrorist operation, communal operation. So that has to be cleaned.
Yes.
For that, RSS is more forthcoming, RSS is more communicating. That is why I started writing. I was never a writer. So I think more and more is coming out, and that is how the thinking will change, because now we're responding. When they say Hindu intolerant हो गया, Hindu intolerant नहीं हो गया. Hindu is just answering back.
Correct.
So that is how things will change, because one thing we communicate well, people will understand. But this is built over last 50, 60 years of, sustained propaganda against RSS, against Hindutva itself. Now because they realize losing the battle, so decimate Hindutva, dengue, malaria, all that comes from that frustration that despite all the efforts to crush the movement, doesn't get crushed. Because we are born out of the soil. You can't take some plant which is out of the soil. If we're not transplanted from UK or from Russia. So that is the difference.
Very, very aptly put. Thank you so much, Ratanji. I learned so much just listening to you over the last few days when we've been having conversations. And viewers, I hope you encourage Ratanji by buying his books. More importantly, read the books. Because these are, why does anyone write the book? Two reasons. One is, according to me, sir. One is that you think that this is something that will be useful to the society at large. Second thing is, within yourself, there's a feeling of catharsis. Once you write, you feel relieved. There was a turmoil going inside me. Now I've written it, and you feel better because there's a weight that comes down. Because you see things in the society, you say, why am I this way?
I said, my urge was only to tell people what is RSS, by calling RSS secretive, by calling RSS communal, despite all the good work, why media doesn't cover it, why it avoids covering. I used to say that it is not RSS, is not secret. It is the wheel is not on RSS. Wheel has been put by media on RSS to save the nation from those damaging elements. So, but we have been damaging people's mindset the way it was created by the communist and the Nehruvian thinking by giving them some feed which will improve their mindset. So that is what is happening. So I needed to go that way. So my reason for writing is only to communicate to people what is happening. For example, conflict resolution. That book I wrote later on, my PhD thesis was basically to look at RSS not just from Hindutva point of view, from typical communal point of view or communist, I would say, from typical Hindu and Hindutva, but what it does for the society, for the nation. So when there are breaking India forces, how RSS has worked very patiently against them, taking people along and making them do something for the society. See, it is very easy to be an NGO and criticize the government. Kashmir handle नहीं किया, Punjab handle नहीं किया, North East में क्या कर रहे हो? But to criticize and again work with the government in a constructive manner, that is what RSS did. So that is why it overcame those conflicts despite being contrary to the mainstream idea. So it is work done by RSS which is beyond Hindutva or typically social level that we talk about. At the very strong socio-political without being political party. So whether Northeast, everywhere their strategy is different. Everywhere the way to address the solution is different. And it ultimately, in most cases, succeeded. These are the things I want to tell people. I'm not interested in your day-to-day tutu and all. So when something strikes, I think this needs to be written. So there is, it is not something, so when I wrote the first book, it didn't take me much time. Because so much of already filled in. RSS में ये भी पता है, you know all, you live that life. So they just wanted to express that. Slowly it is built up.
Super. Thank you so much, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar.